training, getting initiated into a lot of the different types of rituals and shamanic practices, and also working on my psychedelic integration therapy training. I went to a wellness conference, their first wellness psychedelic conference, an international one in, oh my God, I don't even remember the year. It might have been 2021, November, Las Vegas. Well, one of the speakers there was Brittany, right? So she came on, and we were talking about different types of plant medicines. Maps was there, like all of the major people who are doing the shit, right? And so she comes on, and I fell absolutely in love with her energy and what she had to talk about, about how being business minded, manifesting in a spiritual way, what she's been able to do, who she is, her dynamics of the amazing community that she has. So she is the founder and owner of Synergy Soul. What really stuck out to me is that she was able, not many people can hold space for me. I can hold space for a lot of people and their healing, but when I'm broken down, in the last couple of years, it was very few. And one of those people was Brittany and her community. And she was able to hold really big space for me. And during this time, I told all of my guides, everyone get the fuck out. Excuse my language. I need to figure out what is mine and what isn't mine anymore. And so Synergy Soul was a place where I hid, where I went under to just be with myself and figure some things out. And I went into the very deep darkness, and in that, she held space for me. And she is a holistic practitioner at Synergy Soul. She's a psychospiritualist. She's a holistic, integrative, and trauma-informed coach. She really focuses on the mental and the spiritual health. But what I love about her is she is a legit crown priest of Oya in the Lukumi tradition. Her medicine, her sacred medicine is, I have no words for it. But it was something that allowed me to heal the deepest parts of my soul as I was sitting with my ancestors. So Brittany, man, she's a dynamic woman, and she just completed a 40-hour intensive of a curriculum that I created for trauma-informed care for spiritual practitioners, learning about the nervous system, learning about what trauma is, really being able to understand that if we do not do that work, then we are going to be working from biases, and the channels and the information that come through us, we have to be mindful, are they really for us, or are they for your client? So we have to be able to look at these different areas, and when we do have a trauma-informed care, it's a different way of working with the client. And so I'm so happy to introduce her here today. I'm going to go and stop with my screen, find her in the list of things, but this is Miss B, Dr. B. This is Miss Dr. B. And yeah, I'm so excited that this is happening right now. But let me find her. Oh, there you are.
I'm here.
There she is. Okay, and I am pinning off. You have the show.
Hi, I am so excited to be here. Is it, I don't know if it's, let's see, work. Okay, perfect. I am so excited. I'm so excited to be here. Alicia is a friend and a mentor. If you heard, I just finished her 40-hour intensive trauma-informed care training. And it was like, I have no words because she changed my life. So as much as I held space for her, she has changed my life when it comes to the lens in which I support people. My background is heavy in holistic wellness. I'm a physical therapist assistant, Reiki master, yoga teacher, all of the things, priest, medium, root worker, all the things. But this work that I've done with Alicia is actually really tied into the reading that I pulled for this year, because let me back up. First of all, I want you all to take a second to just notice, okay, how every single one of the presenters here, and even including yourself, all have a tool to heal, support, or move through something on some level of our being, which is what holistic health is: spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, energetically, financially, right? All of those things. We came together, us here all together today, as Pluto moved into Aquarius last night. We are a representation of the global healing, right? We are coming together, different backgrounds. We are from different ethnicities, cultures, all different things here today, sharing from spaces that we've learned, healed ourselves, initiated to all of those things. So I just wanted to point that out because that's one thing that stood out to me. I was like, wow, the amount of knowledge that's in this space right now. Maya Goon, I'm a heavy worker with the ancestors. I'm a priest of Oya. We work with the dead, and the dead are my best friends. And so they have been here. So I had to like go do things while I was listening because I'm like, y'all are lit. Like it's a lot of energy. I love it. Okay, so let me just dive right into the energy, the report. My way of approaching this reading was now we hear all of these things. We know what we're working towards. Now, how do we do this? What tools are we going to use to support ourselves through this? Okay, I'm going to back up a little bit of what Alicia said because these experiences that we've had in our lifetime up until this point of us meeting is affecting our brains and our nervous systems, which affect everything else. Okay. Alicia said something. I had to write this in to add this to what I wanted to say. Is it your intuition or is it your nervous system being triggered by something that we have not processed from the outside world, right? So this work for this year is really about our nervous system, our circulatory system, our blood, right? Because it's Aquarian energy, and our brain health and our nervous system health. And I know you have seen an increase of people talking about mental health, nervous system health specifically, because it is the key to our mental health is our nervous system. So our bodies know how to protect themselves, right? Our bodies are so smart on a physiological level. Our brains are wired to detect threats and danger. When we move throughout our life, from the womb, beyond, right? Before our ancestors, all the things that they went through, all of that has been integrated into our nervous system. And then we signed a contract of what we were going to do here, who we were going to be. And from there, we then experience things throughout our lifetime to right now. Some of those experiences, unfortunately, could have been adverse traumatic experiences. Now, let me pause for a second because in this day and age, in this modern world that we live in, that's very fast paced, we experience micro traumas all of the time. Okay. That means our nervous system is being triggered and trying to figure out what it's doing all the time. Look at our lives. We live in cities and cars and accidents and all of these things. Now, on a different level, we have bigger traumas, right? We have these traumas that are stopping us in our tracks. That could be loss. It could be childhood abuse. It could be sexual abuse. All of these things that are imprinting years and years and years and years, generations and generations and generations prior to today, imprinted in our being. Okay. And so because of that, we have to look at what is the health of our nervous system and our brain, right? Where are these experiences, just like the shadow work, right? This is the physiological breakdown of shadow work, okay? Where are these experiences in our brain? Where is our brain still responding to these experiences as though they are occurring today? So when the previous presenters were talking about being stuck in energy, right? Our brains are literally stuck. It will continue to fire in one direction until we use EMDR or other somatic work, right? To redirect the nerve pathway and what is firing. Now, the reason why I wanted to break that down is because that is the healing of this year, right? The shadow work, the moving the energy, but it's the nervous system. On a physiological level, this I want to back up for a second. So I've been on the in my practice of studying wellness since I was 18 years old. Started with exercise science, went into physical therapy. Continued my journey. And the reason why I say this is because I have ADHD, and my channeling really hit in my 20s. I'm an addict, all the things. Okay, the whole shebang, right? Trauma, childhood trauma, all of it. Now, the reason why I want to bring this up is because there was a point in my life as a psychic medium where I could just, boom, all the things, all the fucking time, right? Because I was not doing what I needed to do inside my body. So even though I'm channeling, my body is showing up as it's responding to trauma all of the time. And so until I addressed my nervous system, we don't take this wisdom here from the cosmos. We cannot ground in our being if we are not healing our nervous systems. We will continuously lift outside of our bodies and not fully be able to integrate that work or that wisdom because we are not healing our nervous systems or integrating or doing this nervous system healing. We're drinking pounds of coffee. Don't get me wrong, I love caffeine. I have ADHD. We're drinking pounds of coffee. We're doing all these programs that are like 75 hard, beautiful, but like it's hard on your body, right? All of these things, okay? But we're not allowing our bodies to really rest and our nervous systems to rest, so we're not integrating. That is the energy as far as our healing for this year. So nervous system and brain health are I don't want to say number one, but it really is, because it plays a huge part in our spirituality, right? Our nervous system, and as a spiritualist who my whole life is woo-woo, right? Like without a healthy nervous system, I can't integrate any of this, okay? So there was a card that popped up and it was a King of Wands. Love, shut up. Oh, yes, King of Wands, okay? The King of Wands, leadership. Aquarius is the leadership, right? Aquarian energy talks about leadership. And somebody said this, and I can't remember who, one of the presenters said, shit, my brain just farted. Let me back up. Aquarian is about the leadership, right? Oh, we were talking about from the energy coming from a selfish space. Leadership as a king. One of my best friends, who is also my madrina, but which, by the way, I also have another mentor here, and I just want to shout her out really quick. Viv, it plays a huge important role in my life and my skills as a witch. So I just want to shout her out really quick because I love her very much. But we talk about the king energy, okay? A real king. The real king energy is one of honor. A king doesn't just think about himself. He's thinking about how can he work for his community, he or she, right? They. And so the king energy is very much the Aquarian energy. I host ancestor veneration rituals for each season. And the energy that came up for that one was the King of Swords, right? So the king energy is really Aquarian energy right now. It's how do I take authority and leadership over myself so that I can also lead my community, but also take part in my community. The king doesn't just come up with ideas for themselves and then think, oh, I need to do this all alone, right? We've all been talking about this. The king says, I have all of these people in my community with skills and tools. And so I'm going to take my idea and I'm going to implement it just like this workshop, right? I thought about that when I pulled that card. I was like, this is exactly it. Bring together all the people from all the different walks of life to integrate together, to heal together, to support together. That is the king energy. So the theme, okay? The theme, releasing our fear, repressed emotion, our inner confusion and disconnect, or in psychotherapy, we call it dissociation, right? How much are we dissociating? Now, that's a whole thing, because if you're a medium, we naturally dissociate, but how can we dissociate and stay here at the same time? Right? How can we be tapped in and stay here at the same time? So how do we do this? How are we going to integrate all this work? Somatic healing, talk coaching or therapy, massage therapy, plant medicine, psychedelic assisted therapy, right? Energy work. All of the tools that were talked about here today are really keys to our brain and our nervous system health. All of these things. Breath work, meditation. So the other thing that came up from Maya Goon, and everybody's been talking about this, and Alicia was talking about it also, was the pace of things. Okay, I'm an Aries with ADHD and I'm a Sag rising. Okay, tell me patience? What the fuck is patience? Now, in my tradition, once initiated, my mother is Oya, Hekwahe Yansa, my baba is Obatala. And Obatala is the king of the Orisha. And the reason why he is so wise is because he endured so many challenges. And through his challenges, he gained wisdom. And through the challenges, he's gained patience. So if we were to crisscross, right, from Christianity to Lukumi, just really quick, it's like Jesus. So my father in the tradition is like Jesus, right? So my life path will be to learn patience. And this Aquarian age just came at the perfect time, right? So that we could all learn to be patient with one another. Alicia kept saying, oh, I'm sorry, this is going over. We just had a Pluto move into Aquarius, okay? We're going to do whatever we want, and it's going to be in the time that we want at this point, right? In life, right? And so there's this model of change that actually I learned in my program with Alicia. It's called the trans-theoretical model of change, okay? And this is something to think about when you're creating change, because again, it's not about tomorrow. This, whatever you thought about today, it's not going to happen by 2025, right? Why? Because that's not how this works. It doesn't work that way. The universe, our Egun, the Orisha, our gods, goddesses, they don't say, oh, you want this now, and so you can have it. That's not how it works. We came here to evolve over a lifetime or lifetimes, right? And so the trans-theoretical model of change shows us that on a collective level, on a scientific level, change doesn't happen like this, right? Science proves what we already know. And so we know change doesn't happen overnight. We start with the contemplation. What are we wanting to change? We want the pre-contemplation. We're thinking about it, right? And then the contemplation. And then we're moving into the determination and the action. And this is the part where I wanted to pause. The relapse. Oh my God, I'm going backwards into these patterns. It doesn't take one time to integrate. You don't get on your bike and think that you're going to learn how to ride your bike. One time you have to fall. You have to fail. I don't know if anybody here is familiar with human design. I'm a 3-5 in human design. One of my conscious design is to fail and learn, and then come back and teach my community how to do it. Right? And so failure is required. Okay? Failure is required for you to move forward. You must relapse in order to move forward. So when you think about this year, when you made all your moves, you've done all the things, you've been 6 months in doing the thing, and then something happens, it's okay. It's how it's supposed to happen. It's part of the process. You have to fail so you can stand back up. It's the not giving up, right? What Capricorn taught us. I have a stellium. I'm a Capricorn stellium. And so, shit. So I have been waiting for this fucking day, I swear, since I was 18 years old, okay? 19 years old. And so what Capricorn has taught us is the self-determination, the self-motivation, okay? That's what Capricorn has taught us. Bring that lesson into the Aquarian age. Aquarius is going to teach us fluidity, but you need structure to flow, right? The water isn't floating on nothing, it's on something. So where do we take what we have learned from the Capricorn energy and have our structure, the masculine, okay, for the feminine? If we're going to go into, I'm going to go into really quick, just a gender, it's gender specific, but not really. Masculine, the man, right? In how we see it or how people see it, support of feminine. So when people think, oh, the traditional way of living, the man worked, the woman took care of the house. Energetically, that's how our masculine and our feminine actually work. Our masculine supports the fluidity of our feminine. What we have gained from Capricorn, now it supports what we're going to do in Aquarius. So the last thing, one more thing, and then we'll move into a meditation. It's so funny because I can't remember. I'm sorry, my memory is not the greatest all the time, especially when we're taking a lot in. That's why I work on brain health all the time, ADHD. I heard somebody say something about a storm. Now, in Lukumi, the storm is Oya.